Hello and welcome back. Today I'd like to discuss Tonalic and specifically how it works in Studio One in ARA2 mode. I've seen several comments online from people who couldn't figure it out, and it took me a support ticket too, so I decided to make a short video to demonstrate how this works. For those who don't know what Tonalic is, it's a new virtual instrument from Celomany, the makers of Melodyne, and it's quite a novel approach to music production. Basically, you have recorded performances by world-class session musicians, and these performances can be made to follow your chord progression of your track. So you can use these performance pieces, called tonalics, not loops, to build things like bass parts, guitar parts, drum parts, and they sound more realistic than MIDI virtual instruments or loop-based productions. So let's get to it. I'm moving to Studio One. So basically we have a blank project. Now what you can do is, under Instruments, you have Tonalic as an instrument. And when you load this, it will open up the interface. And how this works is, you basically need to build the performance within the plugin itself. Now, in this sense, it's quite similar to Toontrack's Easy Bass or Easy Keys, where you have the grooves and you can add these and then change the chords, etc. And once you're done building the performance in Easy Bass or Easy Keys, etc., you just drag this over and it's a MIDI performance and it will play the instrument from this MIDI performance. Or you can leave the performance within the application and have it play from here without having to drag this over into your MIDI clip. So this is one way of working it, and Tonalic has a similar workflow if you use it as an instrument. So let's go back to Tonalic. So when you open it up, you have to log in because it's a subscription-based service. And I've noticed that you have to be online, and it does do a lot of processing on the server side, as far as I can tell, because when you load an instrument, it doesn't immediately work with the chord progression. It needs to think a bit, and I don't think that's doing the processing locally. I think it's, talking back home to produce the actual part. So once you select the instrument, you have a bunch of performances. And what you can do, you can drag this over and then loop it. And then you can add chords. So let's say C and then maybe an F. So if you drag this over, so this is the same performance, it's the same loop basically. And if you play this, you'll hear that it follows the chord progression. So if you select like a performance and you like what it's doing, but you want to have some variation, you can click on the player and it will bring up all the parts played by that player with the same instrument. So we have a Gibson J200, that's an acoustic guitar. And this is the same player that used the same instrument in the same space. So whatever you pick from these performances will be a cohesive performance. So let's say we want to change this part here, right? So it's thinking, as you can see. And let's try again. Alright, we don't like that. Let's try this one instead. It's thinking. Downloading one of two Tonalics. So, like I said, it's talking back home. See, you need to figure out the best Tonalics to create a cohesive performance. And the good thing is you can filter it out based on the attributes of the actual performance. So you have like arpeggios, and then you want it to play by fingers. So these are all the finger parts. So I guess this one was a finger part, and I'll add another one here. And I'll add another one here. And I'll add another one here. Okay, so let's see how this sounds. As so. Now, as far as I can tell, the only way to bring this performance into your project is either to create a new track and then have the input set to the Tonalic instrument and then record this over, like so. So this is one way of doing it. Or you can transform it into an audio track, but to do that you'll have to draw a blank MIDI clip. Let's do that, and then right click and choose transform to audio track. So that will render it, and here you have your performance, right? So this is the usual way of working with Tonalic, and this is more or less the same in all DAWs. But with Studio One, you have the option to use it in ARA mode. Now, what you need to do first is to open up your chord track, because you need the chord track for Tonalic to listen to. And I'm going to remove this. So I'm going to put in a bunch of chords. Okay, so let's say this is G. This is A, and this is, let's say, F, okay, whatever it is. All right. Most of the people who I've seen online are struggling with this part. Basically, you don't notice that there's a new Tonalic tab on the browser pane. So it's easy to miss. Normally have your instrument effects, and if you're not usually the kind of person that goes to like the shop or the pool or cloud, whatever it is, all right, you need to look really hard to see the Tonalic tab that's on the right side. Now, once you open this up and you find the acoustic guitars, and then you can just drag this over and it will listen to the chord progression, and you can just and you can use all your editing tools like loops and stuff like that. You can just duplicate this, and basically that's it. You can double click on the clip itself, the event itself, and it will open up the details of the progression. So let's say you want to have this second part here. It will think, and it will populate the performance here. Look, it's thinking. Prepare one of two Tonalics. By the way, I do have a fairly fast internet connection, and it's taken a few seconds to think about that. And let's say there's like a build here. And let's say we have a build here, right? So if we play this from the start, and you have all your controls here, such as ambience and drive and whatnot. And you have all your swing and timing and whatnot. And basically, this is how you use Tonalic. Now, once you're happy with the performance, you can again use the transform to rendered audio option, and it will do that. So this is how you use Tonalic in Studio One in ARA2 mode. So it will follow all the chord progressions. Now, the good thing is that if you have a bunch of instruments and you want to change a chord, it will change the chord for all of the instruments. You won't have to go into every individual instrument to fix that, because in the other version where you loaded the instrument into the MIDI track, you would have to go through all of the instances and change whatever chord progression you would have to change. So Studio One does give you a great advantage over this, and I understand that they're bringing this to Logic and whatever other DAWs that support ARA2. Okay, so one thing I'd like to discuss before I leave you to it is that some of the progressions, I think it was this one. Now, if you have Melodyne Studio, and if you try to do some polyphonic manipulation of the tracks, let's see if this works. Right, there you go. Okay, so Tonalic lets you manipulate the actual notes that's being played. So if you click on this refine option here, all right, so you have a similar interface that resembles Melodyne. So let's say this note, this A, I want to have it play like a D. Okay, so let's play it from the start. So I noticed that in several performances there is this weird resonances being introduced when you change the note to another than what was intended in the first analysis. So I think Tonalic makes a smart decision on where to move the notes to introduce the less number of harmonics and less number of artifacts. So if you go into this refine option and do a lot of moving around, it will start creating some artifacts that resemble your manipulating a guitar arrangement, a guitar arpeggio in Melodyne Studio mode, in polyphonic mode. So beware of that. But if you leave it at the default analysis and whatever it moves its notes to, it sounds mostly fine. I won't be able to show you an example of this happening really bad because it's from a client that hasn't been released yet. But if you download the 1 month trial for $1 and see it for yourself, you notice that some of the instruments do have this problem. So it's best to be careful about that. All right, hopefully this was helpful, and I'll see you in another video. Thanks, bye.